Hello, I'm Agatheis and I'm online, and welcome back to Hand of Fate. In our first episode we took on the Jack of Dust, the first boss in the game, and now we're going to start on our second adventure. Let's see what the dealer has in store for us today.
Back so soon? I knew you would not falter.
Okay, there's the dealer with all his cards.
Ah, good. Now you understand the basics, we can begin in earnest. Your hero is returned to his beginning items. Our decks are reset. Welcome to the cabinet, home of the members of my court.
Now we're into the game proper. We get to pick between story mode and endless mode. Endless mode is still locked for us, but it's going to be story mode. Here is the cabinet. There are 12 court cards in the cabinet. That is 4 suits with 3 characters each. A Jack, a Queen and a King. We have taken on the Jack of Dust, and now we're going to take on the Jack of Skulls. When we take on this card, the dealer will add the Jack of Skulls to the deck, and he will also add the cards on the right. He'll add 3 Two of Skulls cards and 3 supplies cards. What this means is that it's more likely that skulls will come up as a monster. 2 of Skulls means 2 skeletons. So by adding these cards in, it's more likely on this adventure we will encounter skeletons. Similarly, he's going to add some supply cards, which means we're more likely to get some supplies during the adventure.
Time for you to face my undead army. Meet the Jack of Skulls.
And we can start the game right away, but first we need to build our decks. The game gives us a recommendation for equipment and encounters, and I'm going to say yes to that for now, but we'll have a look at it. What we are customizing here is our equipment deck and our encounter deck. Let's take a look at the equipment deck first. You can see that we've unlocked a small percentage, maybe a 1/5 of the total available cards in the game. So these are the cards that are drawn whenever we pick up an encounter card. So for example, if we win a fight and it says draw 1 equipment card, it will be drawn from this deck down here. We can take out some cards. We can take out a sword and we can put in another shield, or we can take out armor and put in another weapon, an axe, whatever we want to do. For this stage there's not a huge amount of choice that we need to make, but we'll leave this pretty much as it is. Most of these cards we've seen before. An axe which does 25 damage, or a sword which does 23. So swords are better than... sorry, axes are better than swords, so maybe we take the sword out and we have axes instead. We have this magic shield, which we don't know much about yet. We have never actually encountered it in the game, so this is blank. This card is new, and thus its contents are unknown. Finding the card during the game will reveal its secrets. There's some shields there. We've seen these before. Shields provide passive damage mitigation, and they're also used for blocking and deflecting. We've got some various pieces of armor. The Explorer's Helmet, which we've seen before, reveals stare as encounters upon entering a level, and grants a gold bonus for revealing every encounter on the level. Now we've had Damocles before, the throwing knives. There's also Mercenary Contract, which is also new for us. We don't know what that does just yet. At this level, we'll leave the deck pretty much as it is. On the right then, we are going to customize the encounters. Again, we've unlocked a small portion of the total cards in the game. Now these encounter cards, there are 12 of them. And each time the dealer lays out a new map for us, they are chosen from this deck. So these are the only encounters that we can possibly have in the next part of the adventure. Plus the court card, the Jack of Skulls. That one will be added in. And any others that might come along as well, and we'll see that later on in the game. For now, we might as well leave it as it is. Some of these cards are locked.
Some cards are locked and cannot be removed from your deck.
So, Bandit Attack is in for a while. Jack of Skulls is locked in. Captain of the Guards is locked in. Merith the Maiden, Mr. Lionel are locked in. Twisted Canyon is locked in. I think they're locked in basically because they're quite easy, and we're only very low level right now. But Ambush we've had before. We got ambushed. What else have we seen before? None of these actually. Dead Man's Gorge we saw. We saw that one where we got attacked. But we'll just leave those as they are. Finally, there is this card in the middle. This is our Fate card, and this is the start of the Wildcards pack. Welcome to Wildcard Update for Hand of Fate. This update adds different fates that you can select in order to change the way the game plays. Each fate provides different modifiers to play. The default is Adventurer. There are no changes to the game. We can choose instead to be a Warlord. We get a slightly different hat. Combat becomes faster, the enemies become stronger, so are counterattacks, and now bandits have throwing knives. We could play as a soldier in training. Chance cards are more difficult, and combat is a bit different as well. We can play as a shadow agent, as a nomad, as someone with an iron hunger, as a lion prince, explorer, merchant guard, hoarder, monk. Quite an interesting one, because gold cards have no effect, so we play effectively without gold. But we are better at slaying undead as compensation. I don't think any of these are harder than the default, other than Warlord, which is actually called hard mode. And we definitely want to beat the game at some point in hard mode. For now though, we are going to be the Apprentice. This is considered easy mode, and I want to get this out the way as quick as possible, so we can move on to playing the way it's meant to be played. We become slightly stronger in combat. The enemies are slightly weaker, and there are some achievements which are unlocked, basically finishing the game. When we play as the Apprentice, the dealer puts in Apprentice Part 1 as an encounter card. He puts in 2 of Dust and a few supplies and Great Fortune cards. And we're going to pick that one.
Now you can play the game as the gods do, without consequence or concern.
Yes, the gods play the game in easy mode. We're happy with that. Let's get started.
New content awaits you.
Here we go, Apprentice 1.
It will be awarded when you complete your run. I will add my own cards to the deck. How boring life would be without a little spice.
He splits them up, he deals them out. There's the equipment cards, there's the encounter cards, monster cards. You'll notice the encounter cards come from here.
Play for life and death. Prepare yourself.
Here we are, here's our little token again. Let's start by moving one to the east. Apprentice Part 1.
There's a token in it for you if you win.
Inexperienced in war, you seek out a place to learn how to handle a blade. In a local tavern, you manage to corner a guardsman captain willing to allow you to train with his new recruits. The next morning, you quickly file in next to the other recruits as the captain prepares to address them. Oh, we got a shield.
I cannot expect you to get by without some protection.
That's handy. Watch your opponents. Wait until they are about to strike, and then make your own counter-strike. We're fighting the Four of Dust, and this is actually a blessing card, or curse card, depending on which side it is. We haven't really encountered these yet, but this is a special card just for this encounter. Training Part 1.
Blessings will remain always active and are never removed. Unless you die, of course. Then you're back where you began, as always.
Okay, so counterattacks are lethal for this encounter. Let's see how we do. Here's the battlefield appearing. Here's us. There's our special apprentice bandana. Shield, sword, let's rock. You must counter your opponents to complete this combat. When the green marker appears over an opponent's head, press the right mouse button. So we can whack these guys all around as we like, but it won't do anything. Because they'll just get back up again. So, counter. There we go, he falls down. Wait for it, counter. Smack him in the back of the leg, and he falls down. Counter. And he goes down as well. Oh, run away. I'll give this guy one more chance. And counter. Oh, there we go, hamstring him. Hamstrung him. And he's down. So this is just a training exercise to get the player used to counter-attacking. Remember, keep your wits about you in combat and watch for signs that an enemy is about to attack. Then, turn it to your advantage. The card's token is now ours. You'll see the apprentice cards have got these special little blue tokens on. And there's the blue token here.
The token is yours. Well
Clink.
done.
There it goes down there. Let's move on. Stairs.
Head downwards, if you dare.
I dare, but I would like to finish the other encounters on the level first, I think. You have discovered the exit to this area. We will turn back. You turn away from the stairs and keep exploring. The Maiden.
Given how rarely one encounters the folk, you are fortunate indeed to meet Merith again. Or perhaps we are merely cycling around the wheel and dipping into the same memories time and time again.
Again, that reference to our memories, it's interesting. Have we been here before? One day in a shady forest, you encounter an elf maiden. She stops to greet you. I am Merith, of the Forest Folk. My people have long helped the mortals of this realm. What boon would you ask of me? We will ask for gold again, I think. Since we're at the start of a new adventure, it would be nice. Merith seems surprised. It is unlike an adventurer to beg for coin, but very well, if that is your wish. We get 3 gold gain cards. 30 gold.
I'm sure you are grateful for that.
20 gold. 25 gold. Good stuff. The greatest of magical artifacts were forged long ago, and have only limited uses before their power is spent. Use them wisely, and they may guide you to victory. Farewell, mortal. That was good. We've stocked up on gold. That'll keep us going for the rest of the adventure. Twisted Canyon.
It lives in every game.
Ah,
That initial moment where things begin. I have worked on these cards all my days, and the canyon has been there from the outset.
maybe a message from the developers there that this was one of the first cards they ever wrote. You see a weapon glinting in the sunlight, lying next to a skeleton at the bottom of the canyon. The walls of the canyon are covered in thick vines, perfect for climbing. We'll climb down to retrieve the weapon. Here's our cards, we just have to track that one.
A choice. Select your desire.
I think that one is the bad one. Yeah. Very carefully, you make your way to the bottom of the canyon. You retrieve the weapon from the ancient corpse. Draw one equipment card. Now, just so you understand one of the mechanisms in the game, we have to get a weapon at this point because it's a weapon that we're getting. Here's the pile of equipment cards here. What will happen is the dealer will flip cards over until we get a weapon. So if the first one is a shield, then it will be ignored, then armor ignored, helmet ignored, artifact ignored, until we get a weapon. So that has an impact on how we stacked the deck, or how we built the equipment card deck earlier on. If we know this card is in the deck and we're going to get a weapon, and you only put one weapon in,
Take your time.
you're
if you
guaranteed
like.
to get it.
I've waited long enough.
Yeah. I'm just talking to the people at home. Oh, and the first one was a weapon. Okay, it's an axe. 25. Better than a sword.
Are
Yes.
you sure that's the right approach?
Let's make our way back to the stairs. We don't encounter the encounter again.
Deeper towards our foe.
You have discovered the exit to this area. We will take the stairs this time. You embark upon the next leg of your adventure.
Many have reached this far. Further, in fact. I do not know if you have what it takes to do better than they did.
So, 5 linear cards this time. Let's move onwards. Travelling Tinker. In a shady grove off the beaten trail, you find a travelling merchant looking to trade with wandering adventurers. Tinkers sell items of all descriptions. Let's approach the shop. Greetings, wise traveller. I have much to offer you. We can buy items, sell items, or buy food. I don't think we have anything to sell, no. We have one axe, we have our shield, and we have the apprentice helm, this bandana here, which actually hits back at our enemies when we get hit. That's a bonus for playing on apprentice. What can we buy then? There's mercenary contract. Once per combat, press to activate an aura that makes every successful strike drop gold. Could be handy on longer adventures. Fortitude's Breath and his special shield. Every third encounter does not consume food. And we can shield bash with this as well. Damocles, the special artifact that we had last time, kind of handy. Desperate Measures. Wow, 48. This inflicts more damage the lower the health of the wielder is. And it's a holy weapon as well. Wow, so many choices. I think we'll take desperate measures. We'll buy that. It's a lot more damage than our current weapon.
Few select these sorts of weapons because nobody ever anticipates being in peril. Such misplaced confidence is usually their downfall.
Yes, this is a holy weapon. Equipment with this trait strikes fear into the cold hearts of the undead. They will suffer more damage and may not be resurrected around such holy relics. We're on the trail of the Jack of Skulls. So this could be pretty useful. We'll take it. And we'll equip it right away because it does a lot more damage.
Interesting choice.
We've got 42 left. We could take any one of these. I think I'll take Damocles again. That was kind of fun to work with.
Artifacts give you powerful abilities to use in combat.
We could sell our axe for 4. Let's just get rid of that. We'll stick with what we've got here. We've got 11 gold left, which is not enough to buy anything. I don't think we need food. We've got 18, that's plenty. The Tinker, of course, he sells a bit more food than the Mage does. He will actually sell us 3 food for 11 gold. But we're okay for food, really. Let's move on. Incidentally, you may just have been able to see that this card had a purple stripe on the corner. That indicates it's come from the dealer himself. He has put that into the deck for this round, for this mission. River.
Running water protects against many things in myth. Generally, though, it's just a pain to get past.
This card doesn't have a ribbon on it, but it does have a token, so if we complete this in the right way, we could get a token.
Win this and claim my token.
Your path is blocked by a river. The water is clear but fast flowing. We'll attempt to cross the river. Okay, chance cards. Just track those 2. Ooh, that was quicker than all the others. I think this one's okay. Oh no! Your medium-sized armor doesn't make the crossing easy, and the current pushes you onto some rocks, battering you about. The dealer draws you 2 pain cards. Ouch. Lose 15 health.
Oh dear.
Lose 10 health.
Ouch.
We're down to 85 health, and we didn't get the token. Luckily, we do still heal 5 health per space. Oh, a bit more than that.
I'm starting to wonder if you're simply leaving this card in as a quick way to get your hands on a shield.
Yeah, Mr. Lionel. But we do already have a shield, so let's see what happens this time. Whilst enjoying your evening meal at the local tavern, a strange old man takes the seat next to yours. He taps your shoulder quite painfully with his wooden staff to get your attention, and you notice that he appears to be a goblin, poorly disguised as a human. His wizened face grins at you with a hint of madness. "My name is Mr. Lionel. If you give me what I need, boy, I will conjure up your heart's desire with this wizarding wand of my own creation." He cackles uncontrollably for a few moments, then sits patiently waiting for your answer. We can give him the bread from our plate. We can give him 20 gold, but we can't because we don't have that much. We can ask him what he needs, or we can ignore him. I do remember that last time he stole a pickled onion from our plate. So let's give him our bread. Let's see what happens. He considers the bread seriously before placing it carefully in his coat pocket, seemingly satisfied. He then sits considering you for a while before slapping the table with his hand. Aha! I know what you need! Mr. Lionel taps the table with his staff and some plump cakes appear in front of you. Remember, boy, when someone asks if you'd like cake or pie, tell them you want cake and pie. The dealer draws us 1 food gain card. Gain 3 food. Then, before you can stop him with inhuman speed, he snatches a pickled onion off your plate, again, and sprints out the tavern door. Thanks, Mr. Lionel. That'll keep us going. Captain of the Guards.
I always thought it was best to avoid the problems of others. I see you have no such concerns. A challenge for you, and a token if you succeed.
Okay, another token card. You hear a shout from up ahead and the sounds of battle. Racing forwards, you discover a warrior surrounded by undead. 2 of skulls. Broken bones litter the area around the man, but there are still more closing in on him, and he appears badly injured. Stranger! He calls out as he throws his weapon to you. Here, take my mace and put an end to these monstrosities! Mace! 27 damage
it's a
and
lump
holy.
of iron on a stick. Not terribly subtle.
Sometimes subtle is overrated. It's not quite as good as Desperate Measures, because I think Desperate Measures is effectively an enchanted mace. So we won't equip it for now. Combat time. Right, here's the encounter. I like how the skeletons actually come out of the skeleton card. That's just a cool little animation. And we come out of our own card. Come on then, boys. Have it, ye. Counter. These guys are going to go down so quickly. There we go. Knocked his block off. Oh my goodness. He goes everywhere. That's easy with an enchanted holy weapon. Good work putting them to rest. Keep the mace, we have enough back at Kadir, he says, slowly standing. We've been hearing reports of undead in our kingdom recently, and I came to investigate. He stops to look around at all the bone fragments. More of them here than I suspected. Some new horror must have decided to settle in these parts and brought its minions. I must head back to the capital and report this to the Duke. Watch your step, friend. There is something more powerful at work than just these skeletons. The card's token is now ours. Clink. The final card. Stairs.
Were you hoping this was the end? No. Another floor awaits.
Another floor does await. And I think we will tackle the next floor in the next episode. Thank you very much for watching. If you did like the video, please consider leaving a like or subscribing to my channel, and we will complete this part in the next video. Until then, I'm Agatheis, I'm going offline, and I will see you next time.